how to build a Camunda process that uses events. We're going to start by going to start.camunda.com and downloading a Spring Boot Camunda project. I'm going to take the project and expand it and then import it into Eclipse. Open a command prompt so that I can steal the path, bring up my Eclipse, and import it as a Maven project. Once that's done, I'm going to open up the default process with the Camunda Process Modeler, and I'm going to create a simple process for applying for a job. So we'll have a human task where someone applies for a job, and then we'll have a gateway event listener that'll receive an asynchronous yes message or no message. If we get a yes message, we'll laugh. And if we get a no message, we'll weep manly tears. Then I'm going to go and change my start to a start message, and I'm going to give it a name, and I'm also going to give it a message name. The message name is the payload that I'll use RESTfully to start this process. I'm going to do the same thing for the answer yes and the answer no event listeners. They get their own message names so that when I make a RESTful call later, I'll know how to refer to them. Okay, that's saved, and I'm ready to go. I'm going to go and build my Spring Boot project. Create human tasks, just to make sure we can see them stop when we're observing them. I'm going to save my project, and I'm going to go build a Spring Boot project. Once that's done, I'm going to run it. Now I'm going to send a postman message to start the start event. We'll log into Camunda and make sure that happens successfully. The default username and password are demo. Go to the cockpit and look, there's our process with an active token on it because we just used postman to start it. Now we have a human task, and I'm going to claim it. I'm going to give it a variable, which is the salary that I'm seeking in this job. And I'm going to move it along. So now we're going to be at the event listener. And there we are. Now I'm going to go to Postman again, and I'm going to trigger the event listener using the business key as a correlation. And you can see here that the message and the variable from the previous invocations are there. I'll execute the human task, and that's done. Now I'm going to come and I'm going to evolve this process. When my dog hears me crying manly tears, she comes up and comforts me. So I'm going to model that. I'm going to have an intermittent, non-interrupting listener on the weep manly tears activity that triggers my dog to come and console me. And I'm also going to change the ending so it's a terminate. I'll update my process, and you'll see here that this actually caused an error. It caused an error because I had not associated a message with a weep event. So I take care of that, save it, deploy it, and I go back to my postman. I start a new message. There we go. And we can come back to the Camunda engine, and we can see that we have a token now. Go to the task list, claim the human task, and execute it, entering in a salary. This isn't strictly necessary, but it seems that it makes it complete. We go back to the cockpit, and we're at the event listener. So now we're going to simulate the event of receiving a response by making a postman call. And you can see here that we move the token along. And finally, we're going to trigger the weep event, which will signal my dog to come and take care of me. And you can see here now there are 2 tokens, one for my dog and one for me. Finally, I'm going to go and I'm going to finish my manly tears. And when I do, that terminates the entire task.